So we're going to go over how to write a listing. First, you need to sign into Zip Forms and create new, do new listing, type in the address, select it, and then choose the type of listing it is. Residential is for single family, multi-unit is for 2 to 4 families, and then you have your condos and co-ops. I already have one created, so I'll show you. Go here, go to Documents, click on the transaction cover sheet, plug in the seller's information, where they live, email address, your listing broker information, click Save, back. You're going to need the consumer information statement, which is the CIS. Have this filled out. Sellers, it will already get pre-filled. Seller's agent and disclosed dual agent if the opportunity arises, the date, your name, the brokerage. Save that, go back. The dual agency agreement, you must have this signed by the seller in case that you have the opportunity to work with a buyer or represent the buyer on your listing. If the house was built before 1978, you will need to have this signed and initialed by your sellers. And then this would be the document that you're going to upload to the MLS so that if another agent is putting in an offer, they can have this other portion signed by their buyer. Seller's disclosure. This is going to give the history and the age of certain things inside the house, and if anything's going on with the home. You can have your clients send this. You can send this to your clients as e-signature, and it will be pre-filled for them to fill out. Or you can come or go to the listing appointment with this document. I like to have everything completed before I go to the listing appointment so that if I want them to e-sign it right there, I can. And I would come with the seller's disclosure already printed because sometimes that's easier for most people, and you can leave them with the copy so they can get it all filled out, and then you could pick it up when you schedule the photos for the home, or they can scan it and email it to you, whatever you prefer. This is the hold harmless for the COVID, and then we have the listing agreement. Okay, so usually you're going to have the listing agreement filled out for Garden State and NJMLS, depending on what town the property is in. So certain towns require it to be listed in both Garden State and NJMLS. So you need to check which towns have to be listed in certain MLSs. So you're going to type in, you'll have the owner's names, listing broker, your name, your information, the sale price, the address, the commencement date. This is the date that you are going into agreement with the listing. The commission, you're just going to do buyer's broker. This is the split that you're offering to the buyer's agent. And then the minus is the broker fee that the office charges. So it is varies based on the price. So make sure that you check that. Seller's agent and disclosed dual agent if opportunity arises. The sale commission, this is the full commission for the house. So this is 4%. So 2% to the buyer's agent, 2% for me. Does the owner want a lockbox on the property? If they authorize it, then you have to select that, and then the commission split again, for cooperating brokers, minus the fee. You have the listing agent, your listing agent license number, your broker, and your broker license number as well. This is a box that if there's a tenant living in the property and they decide to buy the property that you're going to list and it's sold to the tenant, that your commission shall be protected and you will still be owed a commission. So you can put that by a certain date, that if the property is sold to the tenant. These are disclosures from the state of New Jersey. And then you have your name, the owner's name, and the signatures. Okay. Here is the profile sheet for the listing. This is all the information that you're going to be inputting into the MLS for Garden State. Okay. This I would bring with you to the listing appointment. Bring this to the listing appointment and have this filled out as you're walking through the property and you're sitting down with the owner, so that you're not going back and forth and bothering the owner and asking them questions, so they don't think that you don't know what you're talking about. So that's why you print this out and you bring this with you and you have this all filled out. So then when you start to put the listing in the Garden State MLS, this will be identical and you will have all the information that you need. This is the form for the listing agreement for the NJMLS. The same thing. This one is identical to NJMLS. So you're going to put the information here, just go through it, and last name, first name, list date, price, block and lot. What we can do for the block and lot is you can do a tax search on the property, which is what you should always have, so you know all the information. I like to use Monmouth Tax, so you just type in Monmouth Tax in Google, click on the county, click on the town, type in the address, 13 Swan, submit search. This is the most accurate tax data you're going to get. It's going to give you the tax amount, which is very good to know, the square footage, the year built, and then also you will have the block and lot as well. And it gives you the acreage. So you have everything that you need here in order to fill in the information. So you have 139 and 7, right? So it should match up here. 139 is the block and 7 is the lot. Fill this out. Don't worry about the remarks too much and going crazy over that. You just want to make sure that you just maybe put some showing instructions, because you're going to redo all this in the NJMLS MLS input. Easements, none known. Municipal assessments, none. Possession. Possession is when can the person take possession of the property. That's for the buyers. So 0 to 30 days, 30 to 60 days. That's what they want to know. What is the time frame of the sellers to move out? This is the total commission of 4%, right? List date, expiration date. Your listings you should be taking for 6 months. The listed price with the possession date of whatever the date is. So you usually put the furthest date. So if it's 30 days, you would just do the 30 days, right? So name of the licensee, seller's agent, disclose dual agent if the opportunity arises. Same thing. This is with if it's leased or sold within a certain time period after the expiration of this agreement to anyone whom the seller, broker, or broker salesperson introduced to the property. So this protects you that after the listing agreement expires, which is this date, right? This will protect you for so many days after if you introduce them to the property, so no one can go behind your back and try to make a deal with the owner. So I like to do it for a while. So I do 90 days, which is another 3 months. And then at the bottom here, same thing. And then this one has the commission split that you're going to offer to other agencies. You're going to have that signed as well. Let's see. Okay. And then here's the worksheet that you want to bring with you as well to the listing appointment. You want to make sure that all this is marked. This is exactly identical to when you put it in the MLS. So you want to go through this and see all the features of the home and what it has and mark it while you're at the house. Okay. This is change of status. If there's a price change or certain things like that, you don't need this signed. You can do this if there is a change of anything as far as commission, the price, whatever the case may be. If there's a bonus, certain things like that. Delayed of showing, you don't need this signed. This is just when, if there needs to be a delay as far as the showing period timeline. It's not needed unless something happened in the house. For example, maybe there was damage or like a flood or something happened where the property can't be shown or the owners just don't want to show it for whatever reason. This will need to be signed and submitted to the MLS. Okay. And then that's pretty much it. These are all other documents if you have to withdraw, certain things like that. And you would do an e-signature. And then you would click New. Choose the CIS, the dual agency, the lead paint. We'll do the seller's disclosure to show you, hold harmless, listing agreement. You do not need this signed, the profile sheet from Garden State, and then the residential listing form from NJMLS. You do not need the residential worksheet signed either. Close. Okay. Click next. Choose your sellers and yourself and the broker. Oops. The broker must sign all listing documents. So I like to have the owners go first and then us second. Next. Okay, so we have seller signatures. This is for the dual agency. You have your signature, their signature. Okay, so these are optional check marks or X's, which are right here. That's the blue one, and then these are required check boxes. So usually the seller doesn't have any reports or any knowledge of lead paint. But then again, this is if it's built prior to 1978. This house is not, but I want to be able to explain this to you. So usually they don't have any knowledge. You will have to ask them that. You would just delete it, and you would have the red as the check. Sometimes I like to do this under my name because the owners don't see this when they're doing the e-signature, and then it causes a huge problem and you're going to have to redo everything. So you could delete these, and then you could just do the red And the red has no reports. Okay. Have the signature. The initials are here. Just move the dates. For some reason it gets a little messed up. Move the dates for yourself. Have the listing agent sign, which is yourself. Okay. And then here's the seller's disclosure. All these blue boxes, everything here is optional. I don't know why it's putting the initials, but you don't have to initial each page, but you just have to sign now. That's back in the day. They used to want the initials every single page. So this is all optional. They won't be able to complete the e-signature unless they fill all this out. That's why I like to send this to them either separately from the listing agreement packet, or bring this to the listing appointment so they can hand fill it. But this is what it would look like, and they go through and check everything and fill it out. And then they would have to sign, and you would have to sign as well, and you would put your signature here. So sign here, put the date, and then the buying agent would have to sign there and with the date. Okay? Seller's agent. Great. And the buyers would have to sign here. Okay? And then this is for the COVID. Sign and date. Garden State. Sign and date as well. Just move those dates over a little bit. Everything looks good. And then the last one as well, which is the NJMLS. Sign and date. Everything looks good. Sign and date here. Commission split. Sign and date. Don't worry about the MLS number. It doesn't need to be filled out first. So, and then click next and send. Okay, thank you very much.